So, you've decided to study for a postgraduate management or business degree, but the application process can be a complicated and drawn-out affair, and getting into your first choice of school or programme isn't easy. Experts agree that the more time you spend on the application, the better your chances. But how much time is needed? How should the application process be approached? And is it even the right time to be applying to do an MBA? I've come to the London Business School to meet applications expert Chioma Isiadinso to find out more. Chioma, we're here at one of the lecture theatres at the London Business School, but if I were applying for an MBA now, do you think I should go for a 1-year or a 2-year course?
Going to school in America gives you 2 years as the norm, although there are a few schools that offer 1-year MBA programs. Going to school in Europe actually gives you a more compressed time frame, so the typical length is 1 year. So it depends on you. It depends on whether you want to do a compressed MBA or you want to do a more lengthy MBA where you want to make a career change. The 2-year MBA in America will give you more flexibility to make that career change.
So once I've decided which course I want to do and which business school I want to go to, the next thing to think about really is timing, isn't it? How much time would you recommend I spend on my application?
I would say give yourself a 2-year window. Start early and do your research. Starting 2 years early gives you the opportunity to beef up your leadership, getting involved in extracurricular activities outside of your work or in your community will give you another edge in the application process. But the actual application should take 3 months.
And getting the timing right on the application submission is also important, isn't it?
That's absolutely right. For some people, they might apply when they are significantly older, and for others, they apply when they're very early in their career. It really depends on where they're applying to. A lot of the US business schools, the average age is between 26 and 28, whereas the European business schools, the average age is somewhat older. If you're looking at 28, 30, in some cases 31. So if you're somewhat early in your career, it's better for you to look at schools where you will fit.
So Chioma, we've established that the timing of the application is crucial, but what about when it comes to choosing references? Should my manager be on board here?
Absolutely. A current manager can speak to your current impact, your responsibility, and how you've helped to contribute to the organization. However, if you are not in a position to ask your current supervisor, then you can use a former supervisor. And admissions people understand that. They know that you don't want to jeopardize your job. So make sure if you're going to use someone who is not a current supervisor to explain why somewhere in the application, ideally in the optional section of the application.
Given that people who have been to business schools have come under a lot of criticism in recent times, given that some of them have played quite a starring role in the financial crisis, do you think business schools have lost credibility somewhat and that it might not even be the appropriate time to apply for an MBA?
If you look at the numbers from the last year to now, application numbers are still up. So I think the message there is that the business schools are still a place to learn. However, schools are also recognizing that they have to look at themselves, at their curriculum, whether it's adapting to the what's going on in the economy.
I'd like to turn now to the essay that accompanies any MBA application. How big a role does it play in the whole process, and how would you advise applicants to tackle it?
That's a great question. You can't do a successful MBA application without nailing the essays. In fact, one can argue that the essays are probably one of the most important aspects of the application.
Why is that?
Because it's really a window into who you are. If you think about it this way, how many applicants are coming from banking backgrounds, consulting backgrounds, engineering backgrounds? The schools can't take all of them. They can only take just a certain percentage. So to differentiate yourself, the essays allow you to actually highlight what stands out about you. If you can identify those things and and share that in your essays and talk more about the why, not just what you've done, but your motivations behind what you've done, that's going to enable you to have a winning application.